Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, was no stranger to controversy, and his stint in the army was no exception. From the moment he stepped into the barracks, Elvis was a fish out of water, surrounded by men who couldn't appreciate his unique talents and style. The army, with its rigid rules and regulations, was a far cry from the adoring crowds and bright lights of the stage. Basic training was a humbling experience for the superstar, as he was forced to endure the same grueling drills and meager rations as his fellow recruits. But Elvis was no quitter, and he pushed through the challenges with a determination that surprised even his harshest critics. He refused to let the army break him, even when his fellow soldiers faltered and fell. One particularly trying incident occurred when a poisonous snake slithered into his tent, a clear and present danger that could have sent even the toughest soldier running for cover. But not Elvis. With a cocksure grin and a swagger that was all his own, he dispatched the serpent with a swift kick, proving once again that he was no ordinary recruit. Rex Mansfield, a fellow soldier who shared a bunk with Elvis, witnessed the event and later recounted, "Elvis was cool as a cucumber. He didn't even flinch. He just gave that snake a good old-fashioned boot and sent it packing. It was like he was in his own personal movie, and we were all just extras." Despite the rigors of army life, Elvis couldn't resist the call of the stage. He managed to sneak in a few clandestine performances, charming the air hostesses at a training center during a well-earned day off. It was during this time that he honed his skills as a seducer, both on and off the stage. At the end of his basic training, Elvis was granted a 2-week holiday, a brief respite from the Army's iron grip. He could have used this time to relax and recharge, but instead, he chose to record a handful of songs with his old bandmates. These sessions, held at RCA in Nashville, were a testament to Elvis's insatiable drive and his commitment to his art. The dream team of musicians that accompanied Elvis on these recordings was nothing short of legendary. Hank Garland, Chet Atkins, Bob Moore, Floyd Kramer, Buddy Harman, and DJ Fontana were all in attendance, along with the Jordanaires, providing the perfect backdrop for Elvis's unmistakable voice. The result was a string of hit singles that would further solidify his place in music history. While Elvis was making music, his personal life was in turmoil. His mother, Gladys, was struggling with her health, and Elvis was desperate to be by her side. The army, however, was not so understanding, and it took a serious threat from Elvis, going AWOL, before they relented and allowed him to visit his ailing mother. Elvis's devotion to his mother was evident in his actions. He spent 36 hours straight at her bedside, refusing to leave her side. When she passed away, Elvis was devastated. His grief was palpable, and he lashed out at those around him, including his father, Vernon, whom he blamed for not being there when she died. The funeral, which should have been a private affair, was turned into a spectacle by Colonel Parker, Elvis's manager. Hundreds of mourners were allowed to file past the coffin, and the media circus that ensued was a precursor to the chaos that would surround Elvis's own death 2 decades later. In the aftermath of Gladys's death, Elvis's relationship with the army became even more strained. He saw the army as a symbol of the constraints that were suffocating his personal life, and he chafed under its rules. His rebellious spirit was evident in his actions, and he became a symbol of resistance for those who felt the army was too rigid and inflexible. Elvis's time in the army was a paradox. It was a period of personal growth and artistic refinement, yet it was also a time of great loss and emotional turmoil. The army tried to make a soldier out of the king, but in the end, it was Elvis who left his mark on the institution, forever changing the way